thought I'd talk a little bit about the burpee record that I'm going to attempt. It's the Guinness World Record for most amount of chest to ground burpees in 1 hour, which I'll demonstrate. I've always liked burpees. It's kind of a bit of a love-hate thing where you get good fitness out of it, but it's very repetitive. It's not the most fun thing to do, that's for sure. So I'll talk a bit about the process that I had to go through with it. Once I decided I was going to go for it, it took me 12 weeks to get the okay to do it. So I had to apply for it online, and then they send you a confirmation that you can go for it, and you've got a year to then attempt it. So I went through that whole process, got accepted, and then sort of been a few months since I've been able to find a bit of a time, and I wanted to find a break within the season to do it as well, because it is pretty taxing on the body having to do that many burpees. So the current record is 851 in an hour, and that's the chest to ground burpees, like I said. So that's a lot of burpees. Ends up being 14.2 burpees per minute is what the current pace is as of that. But I don't know what I want to aim for yet. I would love to beat it, but it's going to be a challenge for sure, and a mental battle to just keep pushing through it. But as soon as I told the engineers I was going to have an attempt at it, we ended up having graphs about it and plotted it on a graph for me to find out what the pacing was. And I'm breaking down the whole movement. As much as it is like a 4-second movement, it's a lot of things involved when you're having to do 851 reps of it. So not so much training the actual burpee. I've been definitely doing burpees, but it's because it is so repetitive, it can lead to sort of overuse injuries. So I'm trying not to do too many of that, as well as it's not very exciting to train for. So I've been working a lot on flexibility, I guess, trying to make sure that the range of motion is good, and if I've got better flexibility in some areas of the movement, that means I have to do less movement, really. So like the better hamstring flexibility, the better you can stand up and hinge instead of having to sort of squat, if that makes sense. So the standards are a little bit weird, but I'll show you them here. So you have to have it from the side on and the front on as well. So when I'm doing the actual thing, you have to have 2 witnesses. Can't be related, can't be also related to the gym, so they can't work at the gym or anything. One has to be a specialist in strength and conditioning or like a PT. So they have to understand what a burpee is, as well as the standards. And then I've also got to have like the cover letter and explain the whole process of going through the burpees, where we are, what time of day it is, how many reps I've done. Also has to be filmed from 2 different angles for the constant 1 hour. It has to be introduced and everything in that video as well, and any newspaper articles, etc. going in also have to be sent through as evidence. So I'm pretty excited about it, a little bit daunted. It's very nerve-wracking, but I am looking forward to doing it. It's going to be a good attempt, I think, and I love pushing the body and the limits of what you think you can do and can't do. So that's a bit of an update on how the burpees training is going at the moment. So slowly but surely, and 3 weeks to go. So week after Darwin, here we come. So when you also sign up, you get the specific guidelines which break down everything that's involved, all the evidence you need to supply, so all the things you have to do to be applicable to get the record, as well as you've got this whole 30-page guide to your evidence book, which goes through how to fill out all the paperwork and all the witnesses stuff that you need to get. So there's definitely a lot having to go into it, as well as picking a public venue, which will be at CrossFit Albury-Wodonga. Those guys have supported me, and it's very awesome to be able to do it there with some of the people I train with day in and day out.